Hello and happy July. This is Natha. We're going to look at the astrology for the month of July. I'm going to share with you some of the relevant themes and give you some insight for how to work with all of it. Before we do that, I am launching season 4 of my podcast, Star Narratives. That will be launched mid-July. So make sure that you check out your favorite podcast apps and platforms. We have some amazing guests lined up. And we are going to be talking about all of the amazing tools that are out there for navigating a spiritual awakening, personal growth, your own psychology, and how to just move through this highly transformational time. So check that out, Star Narratives. All right, we are beginning on July 3rd with a moon in the sign of Capricorn. This is a potent moon that is really going to bring into focus some of the hard work that you have done over the past 15 years. And this is work that may be showing up again to be revisited, to be reassessed. And you might feel some frustration, like, I've already done this work. I thought that I had done this and now it's back. And the beauty of this particular moon is that the emphasis really is on remembering what you know, remembering what you have learned, and understanding that you are not a newbie anymore. You are not a novice. The same issues might be showing up again that relate to Capricorn themes like integrity, success, and authority. Or you may find that your themes are showing up more on the Cancerian end of emotional maturity, your ability to give and receive. And so know that very old themes are coming back, and that your job is to act from a place of authority, act from the place of somebody that has gone through this before and has acquired wisdom and knows what to do. On July 17th, we have a new moon at 25 degrees of Cancer. This will be in opposition to Pluto. It will be making a trine to Neptune and a sextile to Uranus. So to break that down, we are looking at really integrating some of these Cancerian themes, especially as it relates to, once again, emotional maturity and emotional security, but through the lens of not being so vulnerable, not being so quick to tend to everybody else at your own expense. It's very important right now, as we travel through such deep transformational times, that you're able to act as the adult in your life, that you are able to act as the attuned, understanding, and strong mother to yourself. If you had a mother who did not attune to your needs or who was emotionally dysregulated in some way, this will be harder for you. But again, we're under this whole energetic quality of remembering how far you've come and leaning into trusting a self. With an opposition to Pluto, there will be stuff that rises to the surface, but you will be supported by Neptune and Uranus. And all three of these are outer planets. And so the work might feel less personal, but know that overall you will look back and you will be so grateful for your ability to stand true and to make your decisions from a place of emotional maturity. On July 18th, the nodes change signs. The nodes have been in the signs of Taurus and Scorpio for the last year and a half. And that has really centered around our Venus work in terms of the North Node around worth and value. How do you want to live your life? What is truly important at this point as you're navigating your current circumstances? And the lesson of the South Node in Scorpio has been to let go of some of the old stories that you might have assigned to traumatic or difficult events. Also, to really look at the things that you might value, like another person's approval or your beauty standard that might come from out there. We are a very malleable society in that we fall very easily for the idea that we need to purchase things in order to be valuable, or that we need the approval or the admiration of the people around us in order to be worthy. Of course, none of those things are real. They simply exist because of our fears of not being valuable, not being worthy. The lesson over the last 18 months has had in large part to do with abundance and the ability to understand that you can create whatever kind of abundance you want or need in the moment. It is not dependent on other people, their standards, their ideas, or even your stories about what has happened to you in the past. Now, as we transition into a North Node in Aries and a South Node in Libra, the lessons are going to shift and change. Now we are looking at releasing old, tired, stagnant relationship dynamics, places within our lives where things are out of balance, places where we have not cultivated the very best boundaries when it comes to our relationships. And we're moving toward that Aries energy of being strong and knowing what your line in the sand is. Acting with courage and bravery, even when you know that it might upset another person. But again, there are some big lessons here around autonomy and around being able to see your own skill, your own power clearly. On July 23rd, two things happen. The sun enters the sign of Leo, and Venus stations to go retrograde in the sign of Leo. This retrograde will last through September 4th. Of course, there are shadow periods on either end. We're already in the shadow period of the Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde, especially in the sign of Leo, is going to look a lot, once again, like, are you able to see yourself clearly? Are you able to understand that your worth and value comes most strongly from within? And that in order to really feel what you bring to the table, you have to know what makes you feel excited and what brings you joy and where your areas of creativity lie. This is a Venus retrograde that comes right after an 18-month period of Venus ruling the North Node. And so it is particularly potent. And so you take everything that you've learned about your true values and the way that you really wish to live your life at this point, and then you have to tap in and ask, am I supporting myself to do that? Am I seeing myself clearly? Am I meeting my own wants and needs and desires? And if the answer is no, you'll have some work to do this month. The sun enters Leo, which changes the flavor from that internal Cancerian, emotional, watery perspective where we're trying to understand how to better mother ourselves, and switches into fiery Leo. Leo is an archetype of father, and through the father, we learn who we are. If you did not have a present father, or your father wasn't able to reflect back to you the reality of who you are, then again, you have work to do. But the point with all of this is to continue to deepen into seeing yourself, your values, your joys, the things that make you laugh, the things that are your creative skills, seeing those things as clearly as possible so that you know which direction to take. If you'd like to work with me privately, you can visit electroastrology.com. I have several different kinds of readings. I also have my Hidden Wisdom Astrology Circle where we do a lot of this particular kind of work, but deeper. I invite you to find me there as well, or follow me on Instagram. Have a wonderful month.